Hello, I'm the Arizona Silverback, and you're getting tired of getting beat up by the big guy, or maybe this a strong guy, or some guy who's just kind of a jerk. Well, I got something for you. Let's talk about it. All right, well, we both know why you're here. You want to know how to stop from getting beat up by the big guy. Now, this video might get a little bit of backlash, but we're going to talk about this just a little bit. So if you're getting thumped by a guy who's either an upper belt, a new guy, or a big guy, and you're struggling with him, most likely you're going to want answers on how to deal with it. But it's really simple. The only way that someone can beat you up is if you let them. I know that's kind of weird to hear in Jiu Jitsu, but I'm going to tell you a quick story and then I'll explain to where I learned this, okay? When I trained in Seattle for a little while, I worked with a guy named Matt Hamill. I believe that was his name. I'll get his name. You'll see a picture right here. Well, anyway, I think I was a blue belt at the time. And when he came in, he beat the snot out of me. Bad too, busted my lip up. Gosh, I got a black eye. I usually have one. I have one right now. Just was not a fun rolling experience. Just pummeled me. And you know what? I did not want to work with him again. I went to my professor and was like, hey, don't put me with that guy again. That was a miserable experience. Almost in tears, he beat me so bad. I wasn't very old at the time. Maybe I was 21 or 22. Well, we're going, the next class I get put with him again. And man, he just clobbered me. And again, I went to him. I was like, "Hey, please don't put me with him. I don't like this. Look at me. I have a fat lip from yesterday, fat lip from today. All my teeth are bloody. I have, of course, the black eye. I got a bloody nose in that roll. I was like, why would you do that?" Well, a week later, or maybe it was 2 weeks later. This was quite a few years ago. He put me with him again, and when he did, this time, he did something wrong. He did something wrong, Hamilton, or again, you'll see pictures, UFC fighter now. And I was like, hey man, if you step over like this, it's gonna make it much better. He's like, oh cool, I really appreciate that. And I realized that he was super humble guy. I thought he was some asshole just kicking the crap out of me, and I wanted nothing to do with him. And then when I told him that, he changed it and he made the difference and he started rolling. And at that point I realized, dude's a genuine guy. Well, then why is he being so mean and rough with me? And it turns out that he's a big boy. He just didn't know any different. Well, it got me thinking. It's like, wow, well, how do I stop when the big guys beat me up? And I realized that the entire time I was under them, I was getting crushed by this guy because I kept fighting back. I never stopped the roll and was like, hey, you need to settle down just a little bit, all right? You're bigger than me. You're hurting me. Okay, he was there for the same reason I was. He just wanted a good fight. But because of his size, he was very brutal. And then that got me thinking even more, if I would learn to communicate with my partners, the odds of injury and getting beat up like that probably won't happen as much. So what I did, the next time we rolled, was, hey, just so you know, this was I probably had rolled up with him 3 or 4 months later. I was like, hey man, just so you know, you're a big boy. And when we roll, I get beat up a little bit. And he felt real bad. And then when we started rolling, we just rolled different. He was real good to me. And I realized that it was my own ego standing in my way. I let it get to that point. Instead of just explaining to him, hey man, this is what's going on, I would try to fight back. I'd roll back hard. I'd try to avoid him. It was all my own driven ego. Instead of just accepting the situation and being like, hey, can we just roll light? Or can we, I'm still learning too. Maybe we can work on some stuff. Or, as being such a big guy, maybe we work in different positions. Instead of just talking to him or tapping him, be like, hey, good, you got me. You don't have to take it home. I just kept fighting and fighting and fighting, which led to all my injuries that I sustained rolling with him. Well, if you're getting beat up by a big guy, it goes to you're letting it happen. Okay, you have to understand in jiu-jitsu, it's a two-way training partner street. So if some dude's beating you up, all you have to do is swallow your pride and your ego and just let him know, hey man, settle down just a little bit. That's not what I'm here for. You know, if he's continuing to do it after that, you know, like, not everybody's perfect. You can avoid rolling with people, you know, just talk to your instructor. But like, at the end of the day, people can only beat you up as much as you let them. You know, so the biggest surprise sometimes when I'm rolling with someone, they'll tap like, "Hey man, you got it." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't quite have this submission." He goes, "Yeah, you know, it's just a bad elbow. Just trying to stay safe." And it's like, "Oh man, like, I wish you would tell me beforehand." I never went for it. He's like, you know, I got no problem with tapping." Okay, so it stands to believe that basically I could have really hurt him, but he's in control of the roll. It's his roll, it's his body. He's tapping early, he taps often, and it was something that I wish I would have learned sooner. It was my own ego standing in my own way, and it was a hard lesson to learn. So just to make this short and sweet, all I wanted to let you know was that if you're getting beat up by a bigger guy, a guy who's really good, it's your job to communicate with them. Just like it's your job, like I tell people, I'll get them in tight submission. I'm just so you know, I'm going to take this till it breaks, or you're going to be after the one to tell me when enough is enough. Don't do it when it's too late. Like, it's your job to communicate with me and let me know I'm doing the move right and that it hurts. You don't have to take it to when it hurts. Just take it to it's tight and we'll start over. Like, there's no shame in that. And I've had people tell me before, like, "Hey man, you're real good. Can we just slow it down a little bit?" And I always do. I'm not trying to beat up my teammates. I'm just training. So it's just something to think about, something to work through. And if you're struggling, let me know down below. If there's a guy in your gym who's just beating you up, you let me know and I'll come deal with it. Just joking. You let me know and maybe we can talk about different ways to deal with it. All right. Well, anyway, the more you know. I'm the Arizona Silverback. I'll talk to you later.